Zeus ruled everything, the sky, the earth, the gods themselves. No being in existence had ever challenged him and survived. He was absolute. He was eternal. He was untouchable. And one night while he slept, the three most powerful gods on Olympus stood over his bed with chains. This is the story of the one night Zeus was not a god. He was a prisoner, and what he did when he got free. To understand why the gods rebelled, you need to understand what Zeus had become. After the Titanomachy, after the 10-year war that overthrew Cronus, Zeus did not rule Olympus with gratitude or humility. He ruled it with absolute authority and zero tolerance for dissent. He made the rules. He enforced the rules. He changed the rules whenever it suited him. He took mortal women as he pleased. He punished gods who challenged him with terrifying creativity. He had chained Prometheus to a rock for eternity for giving fire to humans. He had hurled Hephaestus off Olympus. The gods of Olympus were not a family. They were a court living under a tyrant who happened to also be the most powerful being in existence. And the resentment had been building for a very long time. Three gods decided enough was enough. Hera, Zeus's own wife and sister, who had been humiliated too many times to count by his affairs, his cruelty, and his casual disregard for her power and dignity. Poseidon, god of the sea and Zeus's own brother, who had never forgotten that the division of the universe after the Titanomachy had given Zeus the sky while he received the sea, and who believed his power was equal to Zeus's and had never been allowed to prove it. And Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare, and Zeus's daughter, who had watched Zeus make decisions based on pride and desire rather than wisdom for long enough. Three of the most powerful beings on Olympus, united by the same question: what would Olympus look like without Zeus? They waited for the right moment. Zeus was not easy to catch off guard, but even the king of the gods slept. They gathered the divine chains, bonds so powerful that once locked, no divine strength could break them. And they moved through the darkness of Olympus to where Zeus lay. Hera led them. Poseidon carried the chains. Athena watched the entrance. Together they bound him, his wrists, his ankles. Zeus woke. He was completely immobilized. The most powerful being in existence could not move. And for one long, devastating moment, the three conspirators looked at what they had done. They had chained the king of the gods. They had actually done it. Olympus was theirs. The news spread through Olympus instantly. The gods who had lived under Zeus's absolute rule for generations did not know what to do. Some were terrified, some were secretly relieved. None of them moved. Because the question hanging over everything was not whether Zeus was chained, it was what happened when he got free. And everyone on Olympus knew that was not a question of if, only when. Zeus lay bound and furious, but completely silent, not begging, not negotiating, just watching, waiting, his cold, certain eyes telling everyone who looked at them exactly what was coming. In the depths of the sea, Thetis, the sea nymph goddess who was mother to Achilles and who owed Zeus a debt of loyalty, heard what had happened on Olympus. She did not hesitate. She descended to the deepest part of the ocean where Briareus lived. One of the Hecaton Chiras, the 100-handed giants, the most physically powerful creatures in existence, being so vast and terrifying that even the Titans had feared them. She called him up from the deep. Briareus rose from the ocean and climbed to Olympus and stood in the doorway of the chamber where Zeus was chained. And the three conspirators looked at what had come for them and understood immediately that the moment was over. They unlocked Zeus and stepped back and waited. Zeus stood. He did not speak immediately. He looked at Hera. He looked at Poseidon. He looked at Athena. Three of the most powerful beings in existence who had just chained him. His cold electric eyes moving from face to face with the specific quality of someone who is not deciding what to do. He had already decided. But simply letting the weight of what was decided land on each person it was going to land on. The silence in that chamber was the most terrifying silence Olympus had ever produced, because everyone in it knew that the punishment of Zeus was not quick. It was not loud. It was specific. It was personal. And it lasted. Hera he punished first, and most publicly. He hung her from the sky by golden chains, her wrists bound above her, her body suspended between heaven and earth, with two massive golden anvils attached to her feet, pulling her downward, the weight of them a constant tearing pain. The other gods watched, and none of them moved to help her. She hung there through the night, crying out in pain until morning. Zeus told the other gods that anyone who tried to free her would receive the same. She hung there until she swore a sacred oath, the most binding oath in existence, never to defy him again. Then, and only then, he let her down. Hera never forgot, but she never chained him again. Poseidon, his own brother, Zeus stripped of his divine freedom and sent to serve as a laborer for King Laomedon of Troy, the god of the sea, the ruler of the oceans, forced to work as a mortal servant, building the walls of Troy with his own hands under the authority of a human king. For an entire year, Poseidon built those walls so well, pouring his divine power and his barely contained fury into every stone, that the walls of Troy became the most impregnable fortification in the ancient world. He worked in silence. He served without complaint. And when the year was over, he returned to Olympus, carrying a rage so cold and so deep that it would drive his actions in the Trojan War generations later. Zeus knew this. He did it anyway. Athena, goddess of wisdom, Zeus punished differently, not with physical pain, not with servitude, with something she could not argue against and could not escape. He reminded her of exactly who had given her her wisdom, who she owed her entire existence to. The punishment was the truth, delivered coldly and completely. Athena received it in silence. She did not apologize. She did not submit. She simply absorbed it. And Zeus let that be enough, because he knew Athena's punishment was not in what he said to her. It was in having to live with having failed. This is Greek mythology. And there are 100 more stories just like this. Stories of gods and creatures,